Hey guys, welcome back to G2 Outdoor Adventures. I wanted to take a little time with you today and show you a piece of gear or a piece of kit that I use on a regular basis. So just about any time I do kind of any outdoor adventure, outdoor exploring, I almost have this exact piece of kit or a very, very similar variation of this piece of gear with me. We're making this video also on the side of my shed here next to the house. So I got the goats and all the chickens and everything in the background. You guys might hear them crowing or squawking in the background, so please forgive me on that one. But I think we'll bring the camera in a little closer. We'll open up this Molly water bag here and I'll show you what I keep inside of it. So here's my Molly water bag. And so these water bags here, this is like not a brand specific water bottle bag. This is just picked up off Amazon. And there's variations of styles and sizes for this. I think we'll start as far as the big compartment first. We'll open this up. So inside of here, I always keep a stainless steel water bottle. And then this particular water bottle is a Nalgene water bottle. It doesn't have to be Nalgene, obviously, but a single wall stainless steel bottle. So your single wall is going to be important. So this way you can put it on a campfire and boil your water, cook food, whatever it is you got to do. You do not want the double wall insulated version. The next thing we have in here, and this particular bag's a little snug. I got some that are a little bit bigger. Is I have I think this is 700 ml. So this is about a 750 ml bush pot kind of cup style. So it has the small bale handles on there, but we also have a lid that goes on top of that. And then of course you guys seen as I took it out, try to clean this off a little bit, but this water bottle will nest inside of our bush cup here, along with our lid, top or bottom, it don't matter, whatever you want to put in there first. But this will all nest together inside our water bag here. All right, so that's empty, but obviously you guys got more storage in there. You guys could put more stuff in there if need be. And like I said, this kind of changes a little bit depending on what kind of fire source I want to use for that day, and also, you know, what kind of beverages or food I'm carrying. So I have this larger pouch on the outside of this bag here. So for this guy here, I got an extra lighter in here, which I got a lighter in this pocket. I also have one in here, and typically I'll have one in my backpack. But now this is the Firebox Nano cook stove. And this stove is really, really awesome. It's just something I like using. They are a little bit expensive though. And then the bottom of it, I have a Trangia alcohol stove. So you got to kind of customize your kit or your gear to your own personal liking. Like I said, mine changes regularly. You could do a Trangia alcohol stove, and Trangia actually sells a little stand that your camp cup can go on top of, or any other manufacturer, it really don't matter. The Firebox stove here, I really like this one just because it's kind of versatile. I could use my alcohol Trangia to go inside of my Firebox stove here. I could actually burn sticks and twigs and whatnot. You also have some other fire starter options you could use as far as boiling your water goes. If I open up my Firebox stove here, it's got this little door here. You push this down, turn my sticks out, or my legs out. And with the carrying container, the legs actually fit down within your tray here, which gives it a nice little platform, nice and steady. And then we have our nano stick legs. And this part of the gear isn't quite as important as the cup and bottle set is, but it just shows you an option of, you know, how you could have a fire source to use though. So with our Trangia here, we'll pop the top off and unscrew it. And so I just have rubbing alcohol inside here. You could put other things like the yellow heat, which will burn hotter. It's also a little bit more expensive though. But I'll dip my finger in this alcohol and rub it on the edge of my Trangia before I put it in there. And that makes it a little bit easier to light for you. So we're gonna go ahead and light this bad boy up. It's pretty cold. You can hear all the snow melting, but it does take a few minutes for this thing to warm up and start running properly. And you also got to be careful because when you first light these alcohol stoves, that alcohol burns so clean that a lot of times you won't see the flame on there. So you'll be looking at it and you'll be like, oh, that hasn't even started yet. In reality, it's burning quite well. So we'll give this a couple minutes to warm up and then we'll go ahead and continue with our video. So you can see our Trangia stove is basically warmed up here. It's a little bit breezy today, so we got a little bit of a wind drift blowing that direction. So you'll lose a little bit of heat with this system. You could always put up like a windshield on one side. So I'm just gonna make a cup of hot cocoa today. Give me something warm to drink. We'll add about a cup of water in here. Now this particular camp cup, it actually has graduation lines in the side of it. So I could kind of get about 8 ounces of water in there for a cup. Another thing we could do is we could put the lid on this cup. So if you put your lid on there, it'll actually hold in that heat for you a lot better. And you'll get to a simmering or a boil temperature a lot faster. All right, so with this Firebox, for this particular cup, my legs are actually pointed outwards, which makes it too small. Luckily, that's not a big deal. That's the awesome thing about these Fireboxes, is there's a lot of engineering and a lot of thought that goes into these, where they have a lot of versatility to it. So we'll just actually spin the legs inwards, and now you can accommodate a smaller camp cup. If you had a bigger camp pot or a frying pan skillet, you could turn the legs the other way. All right, so we'll give this thing a couple minutes here to boil or get up to a nice hot temperature, and we'll add our cocoa to it. So the water in our camp cup now, it's starting to get the bubbles coming through it, which is more than hot enough for just drinking, you know, coffee or hot chocolate, something like that. You know, obviously if you're trying to sterilize your water, you're gonna have to bring that up to a rolling boil here. So I put my camp gloves on here so I could take this off safely, because you can see that fire's coming up, so your handle of your camp cup, it's definitely gonna be hot. So at least this way I could grab it, put it down, and it's still kind of hot through this glove. It's not a real thick glove, but our water there is nice and hot. The next thing for this Trangia is a way to put it out. So you could try blowing on it, which is probably the worst thing you could do as far as putting the alcohol stove out. So they come with a dampener here, or a baffle. You could actually use this to put it out as well. So if you have a pair of Gerber, you know, multipliers, Leatherman, something like that, you could use that to put it on here. Again, with my leather gloves, I'm pretty safe as far as finagling this over and smoldering out that fire there. So of course this is going to be real hot right now, so we're going to let this cool off for a few minutes. And keep in mind, the alcohol stove is just one option. So another thing you could do is carry like the pocket stoves, the little rocket pocket stoves. You can put that in there pretty easily. All right, this is hot, but not so hot we can't touch it. So I don't know if I told you guys, but you know, this is big enough you could carry hot chocolate in there, instant coffee, any variations of those. But we got some Swiss Miss here. Dump that into our cup here. And usually I like to make this with some instant coffee, but this morning I've already had 2 pots of coffee. So we'll give the coffee a little bit of a break here for a couple hours. Stir that in there a little bit. And it's steaming pretty hot. We could check it with our spoon. More than hot enough. See, this is starting to cool down already. It's still a little bit warm. We'll have to be careful with it. Keep in mind when you guys are using these alcohol stoves, if you were to accidentally knock this alcohol stove over, it does not necessarily smolder itself out. You know, if you spill this alcohol across the floor of the woods or your wooden table here, that fire is going to continue to burn. That's a little hot still, but it's going to continue to burn though. So keep in mind, you do got to be careful with these alcohol stoves. That's where the pocket rocket stoves might be a little bit better of an option. So we'll take our nano sticks out, pop the bottom up here. You do have to lay these nano sticks in here just right. They got a little of a slotted angle here where they fit in. Just like that. So we're gonna kind of deconstruct this and go backwards here. Got my firebox put up. I like to keep it in this cloth case here. Just makes it a little bit more quiet when you're carrying it. I like to always keep the lighter with it. And your alcohol stove, make sure that this isn't so hot that when you put your rubber O-ring on here, that it melts your O-ring. You can replace these. You could buy spare O-rings. These come out, but you don't want to necessarily do that because you put it on something that was too hot. So we'll close this dude up, put the lid on there, grab our Molly water bag. And like I said, we're just doing this in reverse. I do like to keep this on the bottom of my water bag here. So in the rare occasion that this thing actually leaks or got damaged, it wouldn't get that alcohol all over all my gear. And that's another reason why I like carrying the rubbing alcohol inside my Trangia versus like the yellow can of heat. If this rubbing alcohol gets on something, it's going to evaporate pretty fast. And really it's clean. You know, you could sterilize your hands with it or put them on wounds, or if you get like a poison ivy or something, you can put it on your skin, help dry it out. So I kind of like that option where it's kind of multi-purpose. Again, our spoon can go into either side here. We'll close this dude up. I'm not going to do it right now because obviously I'm going to sit down and drink that. Put our water bottle in here. Now you guys can see I'm using the Nagine water bottle. I'm using the stainless steel version with the straight edge walls on here. They do make a tapered version. I don't care for it. It's with that tapered version, it's going to be more tippy of a water bottle, and it's not going to sit on top of your alcohol stove or your twig burning stove very well. It's going to be very top heavy, and then you're losing volume as well. So the Nagine water bottle fits or nests very well into your 750 ml camp cup with the straight wall. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend the tapered wall. And also somebody asked me, well, why am I using a stainless steel bottle versus like a plastic Nagine bottle? And so the idea of the stainless steel here is, one, it's going to be more durable. And then the other option is I have a way to cook food and sterilize water. So if I'm out hiking and I run out of water, I could drop my Nagine bottle into the creek, take that water up, boil it, and then I have sterilized clean water to drink. So it's just, again, it's that idea of being multifunctional, multi-purpose. It gives me another resource of cooking food and sterilizing my water. So that's why I prefer the stainless. It is more heavy. If you're really worried about it, you could go to a titanium version, which titanium, depending on the thickness of it, manufacturer, is going to be a lot lighter than your stainless steel, your 304 stainless here. On the flip side, typically it's not as durable. You could have issues with warping it or denting it, things like that. The stainless steel, it is more heavy, but on the flip side, it's basically bulletproof. It's super, super durable. So we'll close this up here. And if you guys buy one of these Molly water bags, like I said, there's different variations of it. Make sure that the size fits your water bottle and cup set. And also, I actually like to have the shoulder strap on here. So sometimes I'll take these back straps here, these Molly straps, and I'll actually hook it up to my backpack. Other times, I'll toss this across my shoulder, and I'll just carry it right on my side. Very, very cool piece of gear. Another thing that you can do, which I have it on, I have about 4 or 5 of these, I'd say, set up in slightly different stoves or bottles, cup configurations. One of them, though, on my shoulder strap here, I actually have a Mora knife that's attached to it. It has a fire starter kit in there. So I have my Mora knife, my fire starter, has electrical tape, paracord, things like that. But I'll have that mounted up on here as well. So it's a very, very cool piece of gear. I enjoy it. I highly recommend it, or variation of it, like I said. If you guys are interested in something like this, I'll leave some links down below. Check out my Amazon influencer page. You could pick and choose a little bit if you see a cup that you like better. I know some guys like to carry the titanium cup to try to save on weight a little bit. That's up to you guys. But as always, I appreciate the views and support. Hopefully you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys next time.